understanding of this guy's coming in and what that meant for everybody. I guess just with him, it was right after you guys got.
Yeah, is that all right?
I guess it is. I mean, you're doing it, so it must be.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, if it's hard.
It's all right.
Okay.
Once you guys got Kelly, I guess what made, were you thinking that far ahead about adding a transfer quarterback? I guess just it was when he came on the market, you just thought he was too good to not look into and everything.
Well, I mean, we're always going to try to improve our roster any way we can, and we tell our players that. I mean, it's our job as coaches. So if we ever have an opportunity to improve our roster, we're going to do it. That's our obligation to the university. All right, but in doing so, the quarterback position is always it's a sensitive deal because there's only one quarterback that can play at a time, right? There's 3 receivers, 4 receivers can play, and every other position there's a lot of guys that can play. Quarterback, there's only one, so they're very sensitive to who's where. I mean, you see it in recruiting, right? It's rare you see 3 5-star quarterbacks sign with one school. Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So the important thing during that process was just to be real open and honest with everybody about what we're doing and why we're doing it, and that's what we did. And fortunately, the 3 guys that we signed, they all stayed with us, and that was great.
Do you have anything else for him? I was going to ask.
Sure, yeah. Just kind of, with Kelly having a little more mobility than Drew, how does that, impact the run game?
How do you know that? Are you just assuming that, or did you see it?
I guess, I mean,
Drew
did move well, but just given kind of his track record.
4.7.
It was nice, yes.
What's your question?
How does that impact the run game for this season?
Well, Drew, ran the ball. I think he had more rushing yards he ever had, didn't he? Yeah. So we're going to do what we need to do to try to move the ball, score points, and win the game. And I don't know what that is right now. Kelly's having to learn a lot of new stuff, and we got to figure out what he's comfortable with and what his skill sets allow him to do best and how it fits in with the rest of our offense. And that's not something that's going to be solved in the spring.
I know he mentioned Sean. Obviously, no one necessarily wants to sit out a year, but how do you feel like he can kind of use that year? What are some of the things that you feel like that'll benefit him?
It's a good developmental year to kind of catch his breath and maybe reflect on some things that where he was before that maybe he could have done a better job of. And I think that's the most important thing, is not to blame anybody else. So let's do some reflecting on maybe what you could have done differently. And then let's get in here and learn the offense and work on our quarterback play, and hopefully by the time he's eligible, he'll make some progress.